my video on interrelationship diagrams. Now, interrelationship diagrams is a quality tool. It is used for problem solving. It's a beautiful tool, but not enough people use it. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the interrelationship diagram to be able to prioritize your problem solving process. So basically, this is how it goes. Most of the times when we're trying to solve a problem, we have multiple symptoms of it. So we have a lot of issues that the team can name out. It's very important that this is done as a team effort. It's very hard for you to do this individually. What you need is a team of people that will meet together. Everybody comes in, takes a post-it note, writes what they think the issue is on that post-it note. After everyone is done, you take all these post-it notes, you try to consolidate them into like 4, 5, 6 main issues that people see, and then you put them into a form of a circle, and you create relationships between them. So I'm going to switch over to my little piece of paper and demonstrate how we use interrelationship diagrams to prioritize where our efforts need to go. Stay with me. Right, so what you see here is 5 issues that maybe the team would have named. And what we want to do is we want to correlate these. That's why it's called interrelationship diagram. So I want to see the interrelationship between these issues. So I'm going to start with issue 1 and issue 2. And the question is, between issue 1 and issue 2 that the team has named out, which one is driving the other? So if we felt that issue 1 is the one that's driving issue 2, that's causing issue 2. So as an example, I did not sleep well, therefore I cannot focus, right? So we will know that not sleeping well is the reason why I can't focus. So then this issue is the one that's driving that issue. So if we feel that this is a strong driver of that issue, then we draw a solid line. And the arrow points to the second part. So that means issue 1 is the reason why issue 2 is happening. If we feel, let's say now we do a comparison. We've done issue 1 to 2, we go issue 1 to issue 3. What's the relationship between them? Is issue 1 driving 3, or is 3 driving 1? All right. So in this example, I did not sleep well. What if this one was my children were sick? All right, maybe that's the reason I did not sleep well. And in that case, I'll say that that's driving that one, right? So you want to do that with each. And now you go issue 1 to 4. So you want to circle it, like go from here to here to here to here, right? Now, when I do this with this, if I felt, for example, there is no relationship, I will leave it blank. And then I do that. And let's say there is a relationship and issue 1 is driving issue 5, but, not... maybe it's just a weak driver. It's a weak relationship. And if I felt it was a weak relationship, then what I do is I draw a dotted line. All right. Now I'm done with issue 1. Now I go to issue 2. I don't need to repeat its relationship with 1 because that's already done. I'm going to do 2 with 3, 2 with 4, 2 with 5. And then let's say, let's just randomly put some relationships there. I'm going to put some dotted lines, and then let's just assume that this was the case, that was a partial or weak relationship, right? Then we go to 3. We're done with 2, right? We don't need to do it with 1 anymore. 3, we don't need to do with 2 and 1. We just need to do with 4 and 5. So let's say there was no relationship here, and then we had a strong relationship. It's a strong driver of 5, right? And we're done with 3. Now we go to 4. We just need to do it with 5. Let's say 4 is a weak driver of what's going on in 5, right? So now we're done with the interrelationship diagram. And what we have to do is sum it up. How do you sum it up? Well, every strong relationship is a 1, right? And every weak relationship is a 0.5. So you want to count how many outs and how many ins. Issue 1 has 1.5 out and 1 in. So then you go and you write out 1.5 and in 0.5. And you do it for all. In this example, what you want to see is which one has the most outs, which one has the most in. And we want to look for the most out here. I see this one has 2 outs, and that may be the highest. So we say issue 3 here is the driver, and we want to see which one has the most in. This one has 1, 1.5. This has 2 in, so issue 5 is the outcome. All right, so then you mark this as the outcome. And now what this means is that if the team wants to focus on anything to get results, we focus on issue 3, that's the key driver. And if we want to measure the outcome, you go to issue number 5 and you see what has happened over there. This is how we use interrelationship diagrams, and it helps us prioritize. Sometimes we don't get a nice number in the outs, like we have 2 of them that are equal. So for example, this has 2 outs, and let's say there's another one that had 2 outs. Let's say issue 2 had 2 outs, for example. Then what it tells you is that you need to focus on both issue 2 and 3 and measure your outcome there. Find something you can measure in the other one. All right, now I do have a quick example that I've set up, and this would be for, why I'm not able to write my book, for example. All right, so I've written some issues here. No time to write, idea is not complete, environment is not suitable, not sure how to proceed, it will take too long. And I prepared all the outs and ins. Now I need to do the relationships between them. Okay, I'm back. So I've done the totals for all of these, and I'm looking at the totals. So the one that has the most outs, this is 1.5, 2, 0.50, 1.5. So 2 is the highest. Environment is not suitable, so I'm going to say that that's the driver. Right? That's the key issue there, root cause. And then the one with the most in, it will take too long. That's the outcome. So we're going to mark this as the outcome. And what it means is that if I need to fix this issue, then I need to fix the environment, make sure I have a proper environment, and that's going to be the driver for the rest of the issues. It will probably affect them positively. And if I want to see the outcome, I need to see how long it's going to take. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.